Hi, fifth grade. So we're going to be talking today about using what we know about predicting probabilities to get better at dice games. Dice are usually these little six-sided guys. Often they have little dots called pips. And we're going to be experimenting with what happens when we use two of them. We've seen a couple videos and we've made a few attempts at it. They're frequently called number cubes for no apparent reason, but dice probability is what we're into today. All right, so we're going to start by making a probability tree to take a look at all the possible outcomes. There I am up at the top. You can think of it as rolling one die twice in a row, or just rolling both of them together. But suffice it to say, there's got to be a number one die. Die is one dice. And on that guy, we can get, let's make that a little longer, a 1, we can get a 2, we can get a 3, we can get a 4, we can get a 5, or we can get a 6, that's right. So for our second set, and again, you can imagine this as a second die or just the second roll of the same one. You could get a 1 on the first one, and then you could have 6 possible outcomes from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could get a 2 on the first one, and there would be 6 possible outcomes from there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can alternate colors here, but I still can't fit it in here particularly neatly. But I hope we start to see we would be able to kind of generate a list of all possible outcomes. I'm trying to make sure I get 6 for each one of these. If there are 6 possibilities to begin with, that's these guys. Highlight them. And then each one of those has 6 different options that could derive from there. How many total options are there going to be? How many total possible combinations can there be? All right, we're going to use this probability tree, even though they forgot to draw me at the top. I hate using other people's artwork, but to make sure that it all fits in here, I'm gonna use this as the finished probability tree. So just for clarity, and I'm gonna use my highlighter to sort of trace a route of what we're looking for. So if on the first roll I got a 3, I'd be on this path, and then the second roll I would have a 4, and they've shown down here that you would have a 3 and a 4. We're gonna be talking predominantly in our activities and games about sums, so what these things add up to be. But for today's use of the tree, this would be shown as you got a 3 and then a 4, which is different, I would point out, than this path over here where I didn't like that green one, I get a 4 and then a 3 gives me a different outcome of 4 and 3. And again, if I'm adding them together, both of those would lead me to 7, but those are 2 different paths, thus they're 2 different outcomes. Thus they're twice as likely to happen that you would get that 7. So note that the path that you take matters. It matters, even though you might think of the outcome in the same way. All right, so how do we use this tree to actually do anything? Like, what does it mean? Well, let's start off with, when we're talking probabilities, we know that it's going to look like a fraction, so we're going to need a numerator and a denominator. So if it's asking what is the probability of something, you need a numerator, and you need a fractional answer. You could convert it to a percent, should you so desire, but we're going to start with something that's a fraction. So the first question is, how many different outcomes are there? I asked that in the last slide. If we looked and counted all of these, I had indicated that there were 6 options, and each one has 6 options after that. We could go through and count all these little end destinations, and I will save you some time and let you know that there are 36. This means all of our answers are going to be out of 36. Our denominator for every single problem that I'm asking you for will be 36. Okay, so what is the numerator then? Well, that's going to depend on the question. So let's say the question is, what is the probability they will add or sum to 10? Okay, well then what we use this Greek tree for is to say, how many little paths get me to 10. So I might say, well, here's a 3 and then a 6. 3 plus 6 is 9. That's the biggest option over here. So already I can see that everything on here is not going to help me out a ton for this activity. You could even think through in your head, what are the ways that you can add up to 10, and using it just two single digit numbers. 3 is not going to help. Sorry, it would be 3 and 7, right? And 7 is not going to show up on our 6-sided dice. So I stand corrected. So immediately I'm over here to 4. So I see like, oh, 4 and 6. Boom. There's a path right there. 5 and then 5. Boom. There's a path right there. 6 and then 4, which again is a different answer. These two are separate outcomes, and that matters when talking about probability. So I can see, it looks like I have a 3-eyed little smiley face here. I can see that there are 3 different ways that I ended up with a sum of 10. My answer's because, as I noted, it's always going to be out of 36. So I'm going to say 3/36. We could simplify this. We could convert it to a percent. I'm not asking you to do that. I'm pointing out that 3/36 is a perfect answer to that question. So let's try another one. What is the probability that one of the 2 dice will have a number 2 on it? All right. So now we really got to keep track of some paths over here. I'm going to use red this time. Obviously, if I roll a 2, 2 and then 1, well, the first number is a 2. 2 and then 2, ooh, fancy. We got 2 2s. That doesn't actually matter, but okay. 2 and then 3, still the first one's a 2. 2 and then 4, still the first one's a 2. 2 and then 5, what do you know? 2 and then 6, cool. But there are all the other paths where the second time is a 2. So I go down over, let's say I take this hypothetical tree, but there's still an outcome where I have a 2. Let's say I take this one. Yeah, 3-1, that doesn't help. 3-3, that doesn't help. 3-4, 3-5, 3-6, I don't care about any of those, but I do care very much about this 3 and then 2. I do care very much about this. Oh, I did 4 and then 4. I do care about this 4 and then 2. 5 and then 2. 6 and then 2. And again, on this chart, one of the reasons why I really like it, if you look at the little numbers down at the bottom, you can see all the little number 2s. I try and make big lines so that they stand out, but you could just look at the end solutions. But I prefer to think of it as a little slide. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. So my answer would be 11 out of 36. All right, so I'll leave the probability tree here for you to use. My 3 questions are, what is the probability that my dice will add to 5? I could write that as P adds to 5. What is the probability at least one of my dice will have a 3 in either the first roll or the second roll, or the first or second dice? One of them will be a 3. And C, what is the probability that my dice will have a 2 and a 4 in some combination or order? You can write right on this document. I encourage you to screenshot this tree so that you can trace the paths like you've seen me doing. Send me your results.